Hello and welcome to the channel. In this evening's video, I am going to give you an end of August tour. The sun is going down. It's like literally right there. You can see the glow all over my face. I've been out here just doing a little bit of cleanup still. Actually, not really cleanup, hanging up some hanging pots that I've had in the cut flower garden and the memorial garden that I have yet to hang up. And today was a day that I thought I would just go ahead on, hang them up, finish hanging up a few of my solar lights that I want on the side fences over there. And I thought before I call it an evening, because I'm not dressed for the garden to do anything major out here, I thought I'd come and walk you all through my August garden. I just realized it's the end of August because I just celebrated a birthday and I thought I am so late. I got to get this in because I really need to have a fall garden. So let's get into it. In the last video, I showed you all me cleaning out the cattle panel. As you can see, the cattle panel has really taken off this year. In the beginning of the spring, it was lots of areas in there that you could sit and do some work, do some potting up. But now it is teeming with growth and I am pretty much loving it. I've had a little bit of stress with it because I have found pests in the garden. I found some holes that were dug up in the cattle panel. Since I took care of those, I haven't seen anything else trying to have any kind of burrowing holes in the cattle panel. But the flowers and the plants in here, mainly plants. I don't only have two items down there that are not food items, but I had to move those because of the sun. The sun was eating them up. But everything in here is doing quite well. I did some moving around of some pots earlier today. I put a couple of peppers that were in the back part of the garden back there. I moved them in here. As you all can see, these are peppers flanking both sides, and the peppers are very tall. You see that right there? That is a very tall pepper. The bananas have taken off. This banana was a tiny baby just a few months ago, and it is huge. If you all can see the stalks down there, they're massive. Bananas are just getting out of control. I went ahead on and pot up these two. I was going to give these two to my sister. She told me to wait and give her a baby of one of these because she wanted something small. And as you can see, it's no longer small. But I noticed, because I potted these up a couple of days ago, I noticed that I'm getting a pup. So these two will give me a pup and I will give that to my sister. And so I've got literally 4 bananas in these two 17-gallon pots, 2 in this one and 2 in that one. So that's the cattle panel. You all can see that it has a ton of stuff in there. I'm not going to go in there. Let's go to some areas that I haven't shown you a lot of this. I've shown you all, I think once or twice, the flies are ridiculous. I've shown you all my squash and my Bini Korima watermelon, and the squash just is taking over. What I've continued to have to do is wrap the vines and make them go where I want them to go, because if you don't, squash will just take over. So I've been wrapping them and making them go over here. I will deal with this area and put a paver patio down in the fall. So that's still looking a mess. But other than that, the garden is starting to come together. I've got some empty pots that I need to sow some flower seeds in. I did drop some seeds in there, but nothing's coming up. It could still be too hot, but we're going to put some seeds in there. But this is growing quite nicely. Let me see. Let me move over here. If you all can see, there is a little squash coming up in there. I have watermelon still on the plant. I want to say I've got about 7 of them. I've got 2 in that little mesh bag right there. But this is the squash and the watermelon patch. And it is, sorry about that, y'all, I'm making all kind of noise. It is growing quite well so far this season. As a matter of fact, I see another squash right there. Can you all see that? Let's go to the other side. There it is right there, another round squash. So this is going to be a plant that I put in the garden in the spring. It's done very well for me. It was 2 different type of squash. I do have a long squash. It's an Asian squash. Right now, the round one is producing. I'm still finding watermelon. Looks like something might have scraped off into that one, so I may have to take that one off. But I'm still finding what watermelon. Yep, right there. That's the one I just showed you all. They're not ready yet, but this has done very well for me this year, and I am so excited. This is my fruit area. It has taken a bit of a beating. I cannot put rhubarb back here. Flies are ridiculous. What I noticed was because I have so much wood chip down on the ground stayed too moist. And even though I did not water it at all, we had a significant amount of rain and it killed off the rhubarb. So I'm going to have to purchase more rhubarb and find a different location for it. I thought that would be a good spot. It was not. The comfrey loves it over here, so that's going to stay. I want to show you all the good, the bad, the ugly. I did show you all my raspberry pot. It did not survive. It did not like the the summer that we had. The weather was just entirely too hot. I am going to find another place, probably switch a pot or two, move some things down, because this is my fruit area right here. This is my grape. That is my blackberry. I said raspberry in a previous video, but that is a blackberry over there in that pot. I did order some more raspberries. They will be delivered probably sometime next month, but I am going to start over. I do want raspberries. I'm not going to give up. The Mexican sunflower has died back. I did cut some down because it was too tall, and when I cut it down, it didn't like it, so it died back. I've sown seeds for it. I'm going to take those stalks out, but I want to show you all something right in there. Can you all see that green? That is my, I think it's called awapui. That's my shampoo ginger that's coming up in there. So I'm excited about that. I have another pot that also has shampoo ginger in it. I want to say it is this one right here, but I don't know if I see the shampoo ginger. I see uh some irises. I see a hibiscus. Don't see a shampoo ginger. It could also be in the pot next to it. I did spread it out, but my grape has done really well. It put on a lot of growth. It doesn't look that great right now because of sun, and I need to feed everything. It's that time of the year. I'm getting a jump on my feeding. I'm going to be doing my early fall feeding or my fall feeding. That way, the fall garden gets food. This is the malanga. As you can see, that one is coming up, but it doesn't look so great. I had another one in here, but I don't see it popping up. But the stalks are huge, and up under here, it has the leaf. Up under here, all the back pots, those really big 32-gallon back pots, those are all flowers except for that one. That is Jerusalem artichoke in that pot. But all the rest of these are flowers of some kind all the way in the back. I'm not going to try to show you all those because it might take me a little bit to move some things around. The baby asparagus is doing well. It is not going to be harvested this year, but I want to show you all. Remember, I planted some purple asparagus, what do you call them, roots, and I thought they were not going to grow. I also put some asparagus seeds in here, and these are all asparagus seed babies as well as roots. But a couple of those purple asparagus did grow. Those roots were, at least one or two of them, were alive. And this is a purple asparagus. Now, this one has purple and green in it, but there is some purple asparagus in here. So I'm excited. There's another one all the way back there. You all probably cannot see it, but there's one in there. But I have green and purple asparagus in this new pot, and it will not be able to be harvested until, oh, I knocked that top off. That's okay. It will not be able to be harvested for 2 years. So that's going to be left alone. This is longevity spinach that I got as a gift from Diva Jones. Diva Jones, this longevity spinach is just all over the place. Look at it. I have given some to my sister. I've chopped it back. I've been eating it. I put 4 small pots away, about 4 or 6 small pots away, and I've got more to either give away to somebody or to sell. This stuff is just, ooh, let me tell y'all, if y'all don't have longevity spinach in your life, contact me on IG and I will send you what I have, because I have enough to give away, to share. It just keeps going. This is the Okinawan spinach. I had to move it because it was getting beat up. And so I moved it over here under the shade cloth, and I put some more soil in today, and I got to put some mulch in there. It has grown a lot. This is what Aisha gave me. Um, Emika's Earth Gems. That's the name of her channel. She gave me that, and I'm so excited about it. It has grown a lot since she gave it to me, but it did take a beating. It was in the cattle panel, getting all tore up by the sweet potatoes, so I had to move it. Now my switch chard, I had to do some switch rules with my irrigation because it stopped getting water, and as you can see, it is looking real shady. It's still alive. I'm trying to keep it alive. It's got that little bitty piece right there, but I am going to re-sow some seeds. I moved this pot over here. This pot doesn't have anything. I moved that today. My elderberries was getting way too much sun. They need some more nitrogen. Um, they are looking a hot mess, but they're alive, so we're not going to talk about that. My pigeon peas are still looking great. They haven't given me any peas. They're probably going to die back when it gets cold. I'm going to try to put a frost blanket over all of this and maybe a greenhouse plastic and see if I can keep some of it alive. Um, Most of it back here won't need a frost blanket, but that is something that definitely will. And the malanga, so and the awapui, the shampoo ginger will need a frost blanket. So I will cover this up to the best of my ability, move some things around, and see about saving. I put these 3 pots over here today. They have nothing in them. This had a tomato. That tomato I cut back. It looks terrible. I don't think it's going to produce anything. So I'm probably going to take that out. But these 2 pots don't have anything in them. I'm getting ready for fall. This one is my mother asparagus. I was harvesting seeds off of it today. I've got tons and tons of seeds. These are the seed pods. When they turn red, you take them off. I still have some more red ones in the inside. I had an appointment, so I had to leave it, but I'll be harvesting the rest of those soon. But this one is ready to eat. I've been eating off of this. I'm leaving it alone right now. I'm going to fertilize it, and in the fall, chop it down, chop all the fronds down, collect all the seeds, and get that ready for spring. This over here, these are my brassica pots. They don't have a lot over here other than some basil. I've got some basil on this corner. I have basil over here on this corner. Sorry about that, y'all. This shade cloth is falling down on me. I do apologize. I have, what is this called? This is called garlic chives. I've got garlic chives in all of these pots. I will need to re-sow my brassicas, my kales, and all that good stuff over here. They suffered a lot, as you can see. I had some damage up under here. I plucked off all of the dead leaves. I don't know if it'll grow back. I'm going to try. But I'm going to plant brassicas in all of these pots. Talking about red Russian kale, talking about Asian greens. I'm leaving a few of my basils so that I can collect some seed off of them. I'll be harvesting this basil again and making the last bit of pesto for the year, as well as this one. This is a sweet basil. I have some, this is celery over here that did quite well. I grew this from seed. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's a white celery. I can't think. That's not. This is a different celery, but this is a white celery in here, and it has grown quite nicely. It's actually going to seed, so it's gotten a little bit too much sun. I don't need any celery seeds, but I am going to allow this to give me seeds and harvest those. Um, I had a big watermelon over in this corner. It hasn't done hardly anything. My large watermelons didn't really produce for me this year. I was looking for this drill bit earlier today. My goodness, I left it outside. It's all rusty. Okay, there we go. Squirrel. So I'm just going to end up probably putting flowers in this toilet next year, not putting any food because it didn't do well. I'll probably put something tall over here. The comfrey is doing well. I'm getting a lot of bumblebees in the garden. The bumblebees really love the comfrey, so I'm excited about that. This is my Chicago Hardy fig. I don't know if you all remember what it looked like before in well, actually in midsummer. It lost all of its leaves, and now look at it. I am going to try to propagate this. I think what I might do is I'm going to take this branch here and graft it. I'm going to do not graft, I'm going to do an air layer that, and make myself a second Chicago Hardy, and let that be like a round bowl type of fig tree. Now, I just moved this pot early today. This is a common sorrel plant. All that in there is sorrel. But this right here, this is a citrus that has grown from seed. And I think it's lemon, because I've been throwing away lemon and y'all can't even see. I'm sorry. I've been throwing away lemon and lime. So this is either a lemon or a lime that has grown from a seed that came out of my compost, y'all. So I'm going to be digging that out because I don't want that to stay there. And even though some citrus can stand a little bit of cold, I'm going to take that out and put it in the greenhouse in the fall. I'm going to just dig it out. This is my amaranth. This is callaloo. It's continuing to go to seed. I did harvest some seed. I will have to take all these seed pods off in the morning and let those dry. I need to harvest my callaloo and get them cooked up. I'll probably do that this Sunday and make a pot of greens. But this is all callaloo right here. This was my Egyptian spinach. This is my fault. I actually it was Egyptian, yeah, Egyptian spinach. It has been so hot. I have been just weary from the weather that I lost sight of my Egyptian spinach. There was a problem with the irrigation and it was not getting enough water, so it has died. It was going to die anyway in the fall. This one is still alive. I am watering it by hand, but I did lose sight of that. The callaloo, when I had a really bad storm, seeds fell off into this pot, and this is a self-seeded callaloo, so my seeds are viable. These seeds are viable. So I will be, like I said, harvesting callaloo. Something is eating on this one. What in the world? Something. Hello. I'll deal with that in a little bit. Um, but I will be harvesting all of this young callaloo, getting it out of this pot, because this pot I'm going to put probably a pomegranate in the spring. I'm actually growing beans in this. What kind of beans were those? I think they were something wonder bean. It's a long bean, Oriental wonder. I have some Oriental wonder beans in this pot. I do apologize if you all cannot see well. I cannot make videos with my hand without a tripod. I'm just not good at it. But I did put some California wonder in this pot so that I can get this soil fertilized, so that I can pot up a tree in it for the fall. This is some 2 pots that I just put soil in today. Put a tomato cage in it today. I'm going to be potting these up with fall plants, something brassicas, maybe cabbage or something. I've got a few things that I want to sow this year. This is a lady cream pea. I harvested all of the peas off of this today. The watermelon that's in the ground has been growing up and into this, but it hasn't produced any watermelon. So this is the lady cream pea with a watermelon in it. This is a plum tree. This is a methylated plum. It's been suffering. I've been watering it, keeping it fertilized. I think it's getting a little bit too much sun. It's not getting too much water because I've been keeping an eye on the water, but it is suffering a little bit. But I'm keeping an eye on it, trying to make sure that it does not succumb. Oh, there's a couple beans back there that I totally didn't see earlier today. Could be because there's some freaking wasps in there in that tree. So I was like, okay, let me back up. But this is the watermelon that I was telling you all about. I thought the rodents or whatever, that the bunny or whatever had eaten it, but it bounced back and it is going all the way down there into the peas and down back behind there. I did some cleanup back behind there. I've got weeds and stuff coming through from my neighbor's fence. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of it. Like I said, I had some things to do today, so I had to get out of the garden early. This is my Barbados cherry. It has grown tremendously since I put it in this 17-gallon container. I need to double check to make sure it can stay out in the fall. I want to say it can. Lots of mishaps happening over here. We're going to just bypass all that. Now, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I don't know. This was an issue with watering. This was that little tiny tree. I contacted the company. They gave me a refund because it died. I thought it was watering. That was my thought. I tried to keep it watered. I covered it up. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do, and it still succumbed. But I still can't quite figure out if it was me or if it was just, I don't know. But they gave me a refund for this. They didn't have the tree. I'm going to try again in the fall to see if they get that tree back. That was a little patio apple. I want that, so I'm going to try that again. I just think that it's not a good idea to plant trees in our late spring, because when our summer comes, our summers will kill off everything. Flowers have died back, but I've planted some seeds in there. This is another moringa tree that I think I was telling you all about. I have put about 5 seeds in here. So I'm excited to see. Sorry about that, y'all. I was looking down at my foot. I think a mosquito got me because my leg is burning. My goodness. I got to hurry up and get inside. These mosquitoes. Whew. But this moringa is doing quite well. I put about 5 seeds in here. I want to say I had 2 trees, but it looks like, yep, I have 2. I have this big one here and this baby right there. This is also flowers. I will be moving these flower plants because I have plans to put something else in these spots in the spring. And so I'll be finding a different place for these pots because they don't like it over here. And this was definitely an issue with I want to say my contractor, because the water line was not in this pot. I don't know how many days it was not in this pot. But when my contractor left, I went back and started looking at all of my pots to make sure that everything was on drip. And these 3 pots were off drip, and I had to reconfigure everything, water by hand. And so my peach lost almost all of its leaves. It's bounding back. It's not dead, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I've had this peach for a number of years. It does produce fruit. It doesn't produce a lot of fruit, but it does produce fruit, and I do not want to lose it. So that's that. Now this, let me back up, y'all. This is my castor bean plant. It has just taken over. It is significantly taller than I am. It's taller than the fence. I've had to stake it up because the wind took it when it was younger and knocked it to the ground. But I did put a little mesh around it, and it's holding its own. I've been harvesting seeds from it. As you can see, I have more seeds. It just came up a couple days ago. They're brown, so I'll be harvesting those. And next year, I'll be growing probably 3 or 4 of these plants, and I will have castor bean seeds next year. If any of you all are interested, castor bean seeds are very expensive, and so I'm thinking about putting together maybe an Etsy shop. I don't know, but I will be maybe selling castor bean seeds, maybe giving them away. I don't know, but next year I will be growing more of these. This plant is beautiful. Let me back up because, like I said, it's much taller than I am. This is a beautiful plant. It does relatively well in the heat. And once it establishes, as you can see, it just goes and goes and goes. And I love it. I am going, like I said, going to put some over here, probably in the orchard area, move a few things around. And I do want to have more of those next year because I love how they look. I may even put some um, in the back of the garden, find somewhere to put them. Oh, maybe where I had the rhubarb will be a good place to put one of those. Huh, that's a good idea. I'm glad I thought of that. But that is the garden, everybody. I am doing my fall cleanup. I do apologize for it being so quick. I hope that I wasn't talking too fast. This is my orchard area. It does look pretty rough, but I'm happy with it because it could all be dead. We've had triple digit temperatures. We have been in somewhat of a drought, and I've done my best to make sure that everything is watered and fed. I'm going to be feeding it everything again tomorrow. But that is the garden, everybody. I will be putting in a fall garden. I have 4 new pots that I put in the garden today. I have another huge container of pots. I'll show you all what that is when I get ready to pot them up. I put that in the garden. All the soil has been placed where I need it to be. I am still doing a little bit of cleanup. I still have some plants to move around, but I'm getting ready for fall and I'm excited about it. I'm cleaning up all the stuff that I have lying around, trying to make it look a little bit prettier so that when spring comes, the garden will not look completely how it looks right now. If you've been with me for a while, you know I have been in this house a year and almost 9 months. Yeah, no, it's been a year. Yeah, it's been a year and 8 months, and not quite nine, a year and 8 months, and it has changed a lot since I've been here. There was nothing back here but dirt. I hauled in everything that you all see when I show you my back garden, and it's continuing to change. And in the spring, I have some ideas for even some more changes. So I hope you all stay tuned in because I have lots of things I'd like to accomplish, and I just need time and the physical ability to do it. So before I completely lose light, I've got one more project to do. I'm not going to take you along. I want to thank you all for joining me in my back food forest. I hope you all enjoyed the view. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share the video, leave me a comment, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my ever growing food forest real soon. Bye for now.